education is one of those things that has really gotten co-opted by a really large, really powerful entity in our society, and that is teachers unions. Government schools now exist for the benefit of the people who work in them. What do I mean by that? Public sector unions for public schools are, the teachers union is more powerful than almost any other corporation that people would claim to complain about. They spend, teachers unions, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars every year electing people who will keep letting them run their jobs program for teachers. Now, teachers are great, and just like all human beings in all sorts of categories, there are good teachers and there are not so good teachers. They're mediocre teachers. And the teachers union has spent so much time and effort protecting the ones who are not stellar and even the ones who are dreadful, that you have to wonder if educating children is anywhere in their top level of priorities. Republicans believe in school choice for a reason. Remember when we talked about economics and the invisible hand and supply and demand? If people have a choice of where to educate their children, it'll force all the options to get better and compete for the hearts and minds and butts in seats. So the public schools have a monopoly on a geographic area of children, and they are not doing their best. In California, which used to be sort of the shining star of education in America, our schools are sort of abysmal. I would say it's pretty rotten if in a state that is, as big as one of the top 5 economies in the world, that we rank at 47th, 48th, 49th, and 50th in the United States for various categories of education. It's more than sad. It is really sort of sinful, and if people knew how bad conditions were, they would be rioting in the streets. What does school choice do? It says, yes, the government would like to contribute to your education. And by the way, when the government contributes, it's contributing by taking tax money from other people. So the government's going to take other people's money to contribute to education, but we all agree that it's important to have an educated and informed populace. But if the money is attached to the child and the child can choose to use it, sure, at a parochial school or at a science-based school or at an academy, if their parents want to drive them an hour each way in the morning, that's fine too. Instead of just saying you're sentenced to go to this school in your neighborhood, you would find a lot more innovation and understanding of what they should be doing. What's going to be fascinating about the situation we all find ourselves in right now? I'm giving you this information instead of coming into your classroom. You're not coming into your classroom. Your professor is working really diligently to try and create her entire syllabus online. Is people are going to realize that maybe going into a classroom for X number of hours a day isn't the best option that we have for getting educated. So it's going to disrupt a lot of stuff. One of the important bedrocks of self-determination is that you be informed, that you understand basic reading, writing, and arithmetic. And our public schools, especially in California, are failing on that in that regard. Just absolutely dismal showing. And that's because when you don't have competition, nobody's rising to the top. And it's not a good system for good teachers either. They don't get to have merit pay or get bonuses. It's everybody just gets that consistent, hey, you're all equally mediocre. There's also a lot of indoctrination that goes on in schools, and it's not just public schools, because here's a consequence of not paying attention to local politics, which I think I learned the hard way sort of 5 years ago that the president only does so much in your daily life. But the people that none of us know the names of, that we elect and we send to the school board, to LA City Council, and to Sacramento to be in the state assembly and state senate, they've been running roughshod over us for quite a few years with no consequences, and that's sort of unconscionable. They pass laws all the time that a lot of us don't pay attention to, and textbook manufacturers, they don't make two sets of textbooks, one for California and one for the rest of the country. They just, amortize their costs and make one set. So even incredibly expensive private schools are all towing the same line when it comes to restrictions and guidelines that have been set down by the California State Assembly, which is a collection of not the smartest people I have ever met. And I do encourage you to Google the California legislature. You can see their sessions online. They're all available and on video, and let's just say it'll make you feel really good about your prospects for your future, because if some of these people can get elected and make $200,000 a year, why not the rest of us? But education is incredibly important, but only if people are free to choose and to break out of the cycle of poverty by choosing the best education for their own children. I came from an English system, which instead of looking for a lowest common denominator, aims for everybody to do their best and to work really hard. And it's unfortunate that what we've created, certainly, in LA and in California, is a system that's just aiming for mediocrity. And when test results were showing that people were not graduating able to read above a certain grade level and not be able to do a math above a certain grade level, instead of saying, oh my God, we need to make our education system better, they eliminated the test. What does that tell you?